storytelling genie, here with my sweet and crafty cat, Cosette, and we welcome you to our magic lamp. Together, we will go off on an adventure to read a wonderful story and see what kind of activity we're inspired to do, or an adventure. It depends. Depends on the story, doesn't it, Cosette? Yeah. Anyways, we're going to read a story, we're going to go do something fun together, and then we'll come back to the magic lamp and say goodbye. I hope that sounds good to you, and I hope you're ready. If you haven't joined us before, all you have to do is rub your hands together like this and say these magic words. I wish to go on an enchanted journey, and away we'll go.
And welcome, boys and girls, for another of Cosette's Enchanted Journeys story times. Today, Cosette has picked out for us With Love from Grandma. I hope that you enjoy it. My grandma liked to keep busy. She cooked, she baked, she knitted. She knitted hats and gloves and mittens and socks and sweaters and scarves. My grandma loved to knit for her children and grandchildren, and everything she made was to keep them warm when winter came. I visited my grandma every summer. I was her helper. We cooked and we baked. While Grandma was waiting for a batch of cookies to cool, she said, "Sarah, I'm thinking of starting a big knitting project, something that will keep me busy for the next few months." "What will you make?" I asked. "Can you make something for me? Can you make me a scarf?" "A scarf only takes a few hours to knit," said Grandma. "What takes longer?" I asked. "I know," said Grandma with a smile. "An afghan. I can make you a warm, woolly afghan for your bed. Tomorrow we will go to the store to buy wool." The next morning we got up early and walked to the store. The shop was teeny tiny. The walls were lined with cubby holes of wool in all different colors. "How can I help you?" asked the lady behind the counter. "I want to buy skeins of your heaviest wool," answered my grandma. "My granddaughter is going to select the colors." There were so many pretty colors, it was hard to choose. "Yellow is my favorite," I said. "I want lots of yellow in my afghan." I picked 2 different shades of yellow, one orangey bright and one soft and pale, like buttercups. Then I picked a green and a dark, dark red. "What nice colors you picked," said the knitting store lady, "but you still need one more. I think silver gray will go with everything you've chosen." I nodded yes. The colors on the counter looked just right to me. We left the knitting store with 2 big shopping bags. Grandma carried one, and I carried the other. Halfway home, I got tired of carrying the wool. It was heavy, very heavy. "How many balls of wool are in here?" I asked. Grandma answered, "We bought 6 balls of each color, and we bought 5 different colors, so how many balls of wool are we carrying all together?" I had just memorized my 5 times table. 6 times 5, 30 balls, I said proudly. No wonder the bags were heavy. By the time I got to Grandma's apartment, my arm was hurting. I was happy to put my bag on the coffee table. Grandma wanted to make lunch, but I didn't want to eat. "Please start the afghan now," I begged. Grandma didn't like to say no. Besides, it was too early for lunch. Grandma sat down on the sofa. I sat next to her. She took out a ball of bright yellow wool and her afghan needles. "I'm going to cast on 30 stitches," she said. "Then I'm going to knit back and forth until I make a long strip of yellow." "How long?" I asked. "As long as your bed," she answered. Grandma knitted every day before lunch, and I watched the strip of yellow grow longer and longer. Sometimes I heard her chant, "Yarn over, go through 2 and pull 1 back. Yarn over, go through 2 and pull 1 back." If I hadn't known what my grandma was doing, I might have thought she was practicing a dance. Grandma stopped often to count stitches. She said, "You have to make sure there are always 30 stitches on the needle, otherwise the strips will be crooked." Every day the yellow strip got longer. Finally, Grandma decided it was long enough to take off the needle. "Watch me," she said. "I'm casting off." When the last stitch was knotted and tied, Grandma put down her needles and took out her crochet hook. "Now I'm going to crochet a border of green all around this strip," she said. "Then it will be finished." I watched Grandma loop the thread over and over again through the crochet hook until the border was finished. "Can I try?" I asked. "Of course you can," said Grandma, and she helped me crochet a bracelet which I tied around my wrist. When my vacation at Grandma's was over, she took me to the bus station. She told the bus driver exactly where I was to get off and who was going to meet me. Then she kissed me and said, "I'll call you to let you know how I'm doing with the afghan." School started. I called Grandma to tell her I hardly had any time to practice crocheting because I was busy with schoolwork and ballet. Grandma said, "While you're busy with your homework, I'm busy with your afghan. I finished the green strip and crocheted a red border around it. Now I'm making a dark red one." "And what color border will you crochet?" I asked. "A dark green one," Grandma answered. "I can't wait to see it," I said. "When are you coming to visit?" "Soon, very soon," answered Grandma. Grandma came to stay with me one weekend when my mother and father went away. She brought the 2 strips she had knitted, and she was almost finished with another one. "As soon as I take this red strip off the needle and crochet around it, I can show you what your afghan is going to look like," she said. Grandma put all the finished strips on my bed. One by one, she carefully laid them next to each other. "My afghan, it's half done," I shouted. 3 strips knitted and 3 strips to go. When it was time for Grandma to leave, she rolled up the afghan and stuffed it in her suitcase. "I'll keep knitting," she said, kissing me goodbye. "The next time I come to visit, your afghan will be finished. Well, almost finished." "What do you mean?" I asked. Grandma smiled and said, "You'll see when I get there." It was getting cold outside. I called Grandma to tell her I was wearing the heavy red sweater she had knitted for me. Grandma said, "I'm glad the sweater is keeping you warm, and soon you'll have an afghan to keep you warm. I finished 2 gray strips, one for each side of the afghan, and now I'm about to start the pale yellow one." A few Sundays later, Grandma called and said she was ready to deliver the afghan. "Don't hang up yet," my father said. "I want to speak to Grandma." He asked Grandma to bring something for him, an apple pie. Grandma agreed to bake one. When Grandma arrived with her bundles and bags, everyone was happy to see her. "Prepare the dining room table," she said. "I need a big, clean surface." My mother took the green felt pads out of the hall closet and covered the table with them. I helped. Grandma put her knitting bag on top of the padded table. Out came 6 perfectly knitted strips, all with crocheted borders, but they were not sewn together. I was disappointed. My afghan was still not finished. "Don't be sad," said Grandma. "We're all going to sew the strips together right now. We'll have a sewing party." "But I don't know how to sew," I said. "So I'll teach you, just like I taught you to crochet," said Grandma. "Thread this needle. It has a big eye, and we'll begin." My mother sewed, my father sewed, my grandma sewed, and I sewed. We sewed all the strips together. "What's a sewing party without a little food?" said Grandma. "Bring out the apple pie." "All right," said my mother, "but no eating near Sarah's afghan." That night, Grandma put me to bed. She tucked me in, then she covered me with the afghan. At first, I didn't notice, but then I saw that in one corner, Grandma had embroidered, "With love from Grandma, November 1955. Before I fell asleep, I said, "Grandma, I'll keep the afghan forever, even after I am a grown-up and go to college and get married." "Perhaps someday you will give it to one of your children," she said, and she kissed me good night. The end. And what did you think of With Love from Grandma? I think this is a very special story. I wonder if you have someone special in your family that you either sew, knit, crochet, or do another craft with. Maybe you build puzzles. Maybe you bake in the kitchen. Maybe you just play video games together or with some toys. Or maybe you go outside in the yard and you kick a ball or throw a ball. It's fun to share special activities and things we enjoy with people we love, isn't it? Speaking of sharing activities that we enjoy, how would you like to go and do that with me again now? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. All right, today, boys and girls, we are going to be weaving our very own placemats, as you can see in this photo. You're only going to need a few simple items, a couple of pieces of construction paper in 2 to 3 colors of your choosing, a ruler, a pencil or a pen, scissors, and a glue stick, and that's really all you're going to need. So as you can see, the first step here is you're going to measure 2 2 colors, or 3, or 1, however many you choose, of construction paper, about 1 inch thick strips. So I'm using my ruler and I'm measuring 1 inch on this yellow and then on the green construction paper, and I'm going to cut out 1 inch thick strips from both of those colors. Those are going to be what I weave into my placemat, which I'm going to use the color blue to do. These 1 inch strips are also called the weft, and we will weave the weft into the warp, which will be the flat piece that we're going to weave in. And again, I'm going to use the color blue for mine. You can use any colors that you choose. If you use at least 2 or 3, you'll be able to see the weave pattern very well. It can still be done with 1 or 2 colors. You just won't see it stand out and pop out as much. So do this however you like and in whatever pattern you like. And just take your time measuring 1 inch weft strips and cutting those out very carefully along the line. After you have finished cutting out your 1 inch thick weft strips, you will then be working with the warp. That's just a fancy way of saying this bottom piece of paper here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold our construction paper in half, like I'm doing. And once you've folded your construction paper in half, what you're going to do is make about a 1 inch border line on the non-fold side that you're going to make sure you don't cut through. So you'll see I'm using my ruler and I'm marking 1 inch on the non-fold side, and I'm going to draw a line there, and that is for my point of reference so that I don't cut all the way through, and this will make more sense here in a minute. So I've got my 1 inch line and I'm marking that off. And now, starting on the edge, I'm going to mark 1 inch lines again because we made our weft, or our other strips of paper, 1 inch thick. I need 1 inch slots for them to go through and to weave in and out. So see, I'm marking those 1 inch lines. And now that I have that marked, I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut along the 1 inch width marks, but only up to that border that I drew. So you'll see I'm going to cut all the way up until I hit that 1 inch line. Now I plan on opening up my paper and using the part where I see my lines underneath my placemat. If you use a pencil, you could easily erase that line. That way you could flip the placemat on either side and no lines would show. But I'm not too concerned about that. I'm gonna just turn it over. So as you can see, I'm just taking my time and cutting. Once it's all cut, like I have, see, you can open it up and it makes this kind of ribbon-shaped paper. Now this is where the real fun is. We're going to take our 1 inch thick strips and we're going to weave in an over-under pattern into the paper that you have cut and prepared to do so. And with this, you just pick a way to start. You can start on top and go under, you can start under and go over. It doesn't really matter, just pick a way and just keep going. So I went under, over, I'm gonna go under, I'm gonna go over again all the way through until I hit both ends of the paper. Then to secure it, I'm just using a little bit of a glue stick and I'm going to glue the bottom edges down. Now that I have my first strip in place, I can start with a second, and I'm using a different color so that you can see. I started with over, so this time I'm going to start with under over, and now I'm going under, over. And it should be the exact opposite of the first strip. As you can see here, if the green was over, then the yellow is under. If the yellow is under, then the green is over, and so on and so forth. Again, all the way through to the end. And now, to secure this piece, I'm actually going to flip it over and use the glue on that back side and just secure it, and then I'll flip my warp back over again and continue to weave. And you just carry on this pattern all the way until you hit the end, and it will look really pretty by the time you're finished. Now, you don't have to do every other color. You can see I'm starting with green and yellow, and then I'll go back to green. You can do it however you like. You could do 2 rows of a color, and then another color, 3 rows, any way you like. As you can see, I've done a few rows, and I've decided instead of doing green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, I'm gonna do a few yellows in the middle, and then finish out with my green pattern. And again, this is just a choice that I made, and you can make yours however you like. There really isn't a whole lot more to this project. You just take your time weaving over and under and under and over and securing when you reach the end with a little bit of glue until you have finished your placemat and it's all done. You can make as many of these as you like. Maybe you want to make one for each member of your family. Maybe you have a special holiday like Thanksgiving come up and you want to make these for them. The other thing you could do when you finish to protect them a little bit more is you could put a clear layer of film over it. You could even use like a clear packaging tape if you don't have like a clear layer of like film of any kind to cover it, just to protect it a little bit more so that you could wipe these down when you finish eating on top of them. The choice is entirely up to you. Laminating it will just protect it for more time to come so you can use it over and over again. But if you want to just leave it as a paper placemat, that's fine too, of course. But again, it's not a lot of materials and it's a lot of fun to make, so maybe you'll just make a new one for each holiday. But as you can see, I've just about finished. How did yours come out? I hope you were able to follow along with me and make your very own. But I think we are out of time for today, so it's time to head back to the magic lamp and say goodbye to Cosette. You ready to go with me? All right, let's do it together.
And welcome back to the Magic Lamp, boys and girls. I hope that you enjoyed the story about that grandmother who took the time to knit such a wonderful, beautiful afghan for her granddaughter to keep her cozy and warm and to give her something to remember her by long after she's gone. It's such a special treasure to have things like that. And did you enjoy our craft where we did a little weaving? And that's something you can do as you prepare for holidays or birthdays or any other celebration, or just to make dinner one night at home a little extra special. You can just weave together those placemats and place one at the table for all of your family members and your friends. You can even play with different colors and give everyone their own special one. You could even write a little special note on your placemat to give to somebody and surprise them. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it as much as Cosette and I did, and we both hope you'll come back to visit us again very soon. Until you do, take great care of yourselves, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.